Welcome to part 2. So we have with us Professor Nilesh Gupta. He's a professor at IIM for finance and he has done his PhD and dissertation from IIM Ahmedabad in behavioral finance. In the last part we learned about behavioral finance and now it answers some of the interesting aspects of whether you should invest in markets or not. Today we'll finish that learning and try to glean out 2 or 3 things of how decision makers can move forward in these times.
So the question is, the first place where we could test what is the impact of our decisions was finance. So which is why behavioral finance as a field started to germinate in late 90s, and then really took off by the mid 2000s or 2010s, culminating in fact two Nobel Prizes.
On this point, I remember there is this one example which I share very regularly with participants when I am taking a session on the behavioral biases that Professor Nilesh talked about. So if you are driving down, you'll find many people wearing helmet and many not wearing a helmet. Now, if there was a rational choice, one would argue that a helmet should be worn. But every person makes an assessment that he is not going to be the guy who's going to fall down, or he is the right driver or whatsoever, and many people don't wear it. Now, I believe there is these kind of imperfections do change your decision making, and this is not only limited to your personal choices.
Very interesting.
But this goes out even in your corporate life. Very
interesting anecdote that you have brought up. In surveys, when we ask people how good a driver they are, and the question is, is your driving skill better than average or less than average? Approximately 70 to 80% of the people say that they are better than average. So both of us know that cannot happen. Average means that 50% only, but 80% people think they are better than half of the country. This behavioral
these are the biases,
example for overconfidence.
So viewers, these are the examples of biases that we are talking about. And Professor Nilesh, last 2 questions before we wrap up this small edition. So these biases, I believe you would agree, would be there both in personal or individual financing decisions as well as in corporate. Or has research found people behave differently when they are doing for corporate or individuals or for themselves?
There are ultimately we are humans and some of these biases are common everywhere. In my study and experience, the most important bias that people face in making any financial decisions, or actually I will change it to any decisions, is the problem of groupthink, which is what I referred to earlier. Now, what is groupthink? It means that groupthink means that if you have a view which is opposite to the group or opposite to the people around you, your advisors, your company owners, etc., and you have solid reasons for your view, solid understanding for your view, there is a tendency for us to keep silent and tend to go with decision of the group. Okay, and if I want to be societally this thing, there is a very well-known proverb which says, "Dunia ka sabse bada rog kya kahenge log." So this behavior is very common. For example, let us just it's easier to give examples in financial markets because that is something most of us can see around. For example, you would have seen people come to you with tips that pick this stock because it is going to do well. Okay? Then suddenly what happens is if 4 or 5 of your friends come and talk to you about this stock as a hot tip, generally the 5th person will end up buying it. Why? Because 4 or 5 people around him have said that, and therefore if 4 or 5 people have said it must be good. So this is one part of the bias. He didn't think it was good, or he maybe had a neutral view. But just because 4, 5, 6 people around him started to talk positively about the stock, he bought it. Same thing can happen with businesses, where you can think that an investment is good. 4 or 5 people around you or your managers, etc., can say that it's not good, and then you shut up. You don't make it that way. Or vice versa. You think that you should not invest, but you end up investing because everyone around you is saying the same. That is the one of those.
Yep, perfect. So I take this sentiment that both the whether you are doing individual or personal financing decisions, or whether you're doing corporate decisions, you'll find those biases being there in whichever form, because in the end you are the same individual.
Exactly.
So, Professor Nilesh, before we wrap up this edition, if you were to give 3 feedbacks or 3 quick pointers to decision makers who might be watching this video, what would they be?
So, if you're making investments, as I've said already, the first thing is to be aware of your biases. What biases do you have? Awareness is the first step on the road to defeating or conquering your biases. The second I would say is listen to experts around you. You should always get expert opinion, but then you should not follow them blindly. That also counts. You have heard me as an expert speak about this, but I'm asking you to not follow me blindly and make your own choice. Okay. And the third thing is do not invest or not invest because everyone around you says things in one way. On the financial market side, please avoid selling when prices are low and buying when prices are high. Be aware of the herd mentality of the people around you. And last but not the most, and definitely not the least, do not believe anyone who comes to you and says that they can give you sure short returns in any given point of time. Because there is like in life and in financial markets, there is nothing called certain returns.
That's a wonderful note to end the discussion today. Thanks, Professor Nilesh, for joining us today. And thanks, everyone. That was Professor Nilesh who joined us to talk something about finance, some of how one should invest during these times. And as he shared, this is for people who are starting off, this can be one of the best times to start off. Thanks, everyone. It was wonderful to have you. Please do share your thoughts and comments. This was our first effort in the invitation series. We do hope you liked it. Shashwat and I will be happy to bring you more on this in the coming weeks. Thanks. Take care. Goodbye.